Hello, everyone. I hope that you are doing well. And we're about to finish the semester. I think we only have 2 more classes, this class and 1 more week. And after that, we just have the final exam. But the final exam, in this case, we are not going to have a final project. Sorry. We are not going to have actual final exam or a final case study like the ones that we have done in the partials. What we will have is a final project, and that's what I will explain. So if you go back to page 1 to the syllabus, you will see that we don't have a final exam and we don't have a final case study. What we have is a final project. So I will explain what you need to do for the final project. So the first thing that I want to explain, I think I already told you, is that you can work as a team for this project. I think you can work from groups up to 4 people. Those are the groups. I think you already have the groups because that was one of the homework from last week. So I hope that you already have the groups and that you already know what company you are going to study or what company you're going to do the project about. So that's the first thing that I want to explain. It's a group project, a group final project, and it's only a written report. So there is no presentation. It's not necessary to make a presentation. It's only the report, a Word file or PDF. So here I have more or less the structure of the document with what I will be checking when I mark your projects. So we start with a cover. So the cover is just your names of the people in the team and the name of the company. That's just the cover page. Then we jump to the next or the first section, which is the introduction. So the introduction is just kind of a summary of everything. What is the, let me zoom this. So a brief summary about the company, the objectives of this. I don't know, kind of a 1 page is enough. It's okay. Then we start with the actual things that are related to sustainability, because this project is kind of a sustainability report. I say kind of because you don't have to be that gray, or you don't have to be that only about reporting. You can also write in there some comments or some suggestions that you will give to the company on how to improve. So it's not only about reporting, not only about using the frameworks that you learn, but also about giving suggestions. So that's basically what it says in every section, but I will start with the social aspects. So in the social aspects, the idea is to first, a description of what's going on in the company about the social dimension. Again, include suggestions of how you will address some of the issues. And this is very important. So the document is not only kind of a summary, it's actually kind of a report of what the company is doing. So for this report, you should use both quantitative and qualitative aspects. So for example, in social aspects, are they accounting for retirement obligations? For example, that's something that we learned in the course, and it's important that you can report in here, or you can mention in here. Are they reporting on that? How are they reporting? What are they doing? Are they only paying to IMSS, for example, for the retirement of their employees? That's something important. And in the case that you think that it's relevant to include any suggestion in here, do that. I mean, like, report what they are doing. You should say, like, they are doing this, they are doing that. And it's important in the quantitative part, you should include more or less the financial part, the financial statements or the accounts, how do they look like, and then give some comments on that, kind of an audit, something like that. And it's part quantitative, of course. I would like to see if they have any liabilities on employee retirement obligations, for example, if they have any obligations in any other thing related to employees or to the social aspect of sustainability. So show me in numbers, how does it look like, if there is something in their accounts that kind of show this, or if it's not, what would they do, what should they do, what are your suggestions? But also in the qualitative part, okay? So also you learn different frameworks about how to report for qualitative issues. So use those frameworks. I would really like to see that you pick up those frameworks that you have used in your homeworks or activities, where you kind of develop one aspect of sustainability and use these frameworks in your company. So that's the qualitative part. So in every section, we should have some quantitative part with numbers, with some accounts, maybe a suggestion from you about doing a journal entry and adjustment, things like that. And then the qualitative part where you should use the frameworks, because I know, and you already said that it's difficult to talk about qualitative aspects without a proper framework. So take advantage of that, use the framework, and with the framework, you can explain what's going on and also give suggestions in this term. And that applies for everything. For the environmental aspect is the same. Here, I think, but this is only what I think. I think that in environment, it is much more about qualitative aspects. I think that companies don't have a lot about quantitative in here, because we learned about pollution tariffs. I think that's what we learned, and also the environmental liabilities. But I think that Mexican companies don't report on that, so it will be maybe difficult to find some quantitative things in here. So if you don't find anything relevant, show me what you find, and it suggests a lot of things, suggests that maybe they should include some environmental liabilities, suggests that there is a possibility that a new liability can emerge, something like that. So it's maybe more about suggestions, but in the qualitative aspects, I think in here in environmental issues, qualitative aspects are more important. So think maybe about think about maybe implementing the environmental control management control system. I think that's something that we learned, that framework. So try to implement that framework with the data from your company. And the same for profit and aspects. I think it's the same. Both quantitative, qualitative. Show me what do they have, what they have, what they're doing. Use the framework that you learned. That's basically the last activity. I think it was an activity, or homework. I think it was the last homework. I think where you show about corporate governance and things like that that are related to profitability, and also in numbers, and also your suggestions. So it's basically that for every dimension. So in the end, you should conclude in 2 or 3 paragraphs, wrap up everything, give me your 2 or 3 takeaway points from all of these things, what should I remember, and then finally include our list of references. So that's the explanation for the whole project. But I would like to give you a checkpoint. So the checkpoint should be next week. The idea is that in this class, by the end of this class, you should give me the structure of your final project. How should it look like? So of course, the sections are this: introduction, then the second section is social aspects, then the other section is environmental aspects, and profit aspects. But from here, can you write 2 or 3 subtopics about what are you focusing on social aspects, and then maybe subtopics if you already have an idea about your company. Maybe you know that there is an issue with employee retirement obligations, so that should definitely be a subtopic. So tell me, just write the structure. That's the activity for today, just the structure. And then you have the whole week to prepare a first draft. It's a draft, so it's not the perfect version. You can put some ideas in there. You can develop some of the sections, and you can also write like, I need to do more in here. I need to do more research in here. I need to ask someone in the company about this, but it's okay. The point is that I can give you feedback in the next week about what are you doing. Okay, so that's basically the idea for homework 9. I think that's homework 9. So activity 7, it's only the structure. That's what you have to do today in this class. And homework 9 is about doing the first draft. The best you can do the draft, the better feedback I can give you. Okay, the better the draft, the better feedback. So try to do your best in this homework 9. And I think that's basically this. I think we are wrapping up the whole semester. And that's basically the end of this. We're almost done. We have one more class, but in the next class we have one guest. So it's going to be something similar to what happened in second partial, where we had one guest. So we're not going to have videos or anything like this. So that's why I want to push you on finishing the draft by next week. Then I'll try to give you feedback as soon as possible, and then you will have 2 weeks to finish the final thing. So in total, you have 3 weeks, but try as best as you can to finish a proper draft in the next week, and then you have 2 more weeks to polish everything, and you can get a super good grade. So I think that's the end of this video, the explanation, the final project. But if you have any idea, please come to the Zoom class and we can discuss any issues.